a problem, so we're gonna try this live thing and see how well it goes.
AKA
I am
actually. I'm
here
not paying for
today with
it.
Mr.
What's
Fedilio
up?
and Max.
Hey guys,
Yes, funny man, local funny man, Max.
Yeah,
thanks for having me here.
no problem, no problem. So, like we've already warned Max, right? That we guarantee nothing. We don't know how well the show is going to work, and set your expectations really low, basically.
And here's one thing I realized: this show is live.
Yeah, yeah,
This
it's
is
live. So this is the first time we're doing live. Yeah, we're seeing whether this is better or whether it's.
So it's gonna be the same
not
stuff,
better.
except that we don't have the editor when we mess up.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. It's the same thing, but this time you'll see all the stuff that we're doing. See, one of the reasons why I'm using this is because I'm trying to find. It's difficult to find like you can just switch between cameras, right? So the idea is I'll do it live, and then I'll just switch the screens when you're talking. While I'm
Show
talking,
show
right?
them how it works.
Yeah. So like I'm talking blah 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 here.
And then now it's me talking blah blah blah.
Oh, how does this work, man? It's like freaking magic or something. But yeah, so I'm doing it this way, but this is under the assumption that I will remember
To do
to
this,
switch the
right?
screens. Yeah. So yeah, that's
You should have some kind of automated thing whereby it picks up whose mic
you
is
think
up.
I think right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's like some AI software that could potentially do it, but I'm not 100% sure. So I didn't want to record everything and then after that realize I need to edit this. So
Right.
yeah, that's gonna suck. And then Max is gonna be like, "When's the podcast coming out, Shaz?" So
So this means the podcast is out the minute it's out now.
it's out now. It's happening.
It's happening
as
as
we
we
go
speak.
along. Yeah, exactly.
That kind of blows my mind.
You guys were speaking about Bill O'Reilly doing it live, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Let's do it live.
Yeah.
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 What does it mean? Walk him out.
Yeah.
Lead him out.
But it's basically the same show with a lot more data, I guess.
I assume so. That is one possibility. I mean, the
You guys
number
are
of
missing
times,
out.
sometimes the number of times somebody says something and other people are like, "Oh yeah."
So anyway, Max, if you didn't know, this podcast is actually a movie podcast.
It's a movie.
Supposedly, we're talking about movies and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Right.
So yeah, have you ever heard of this same thing called movies and TV? What have you been watching recently?
um, actually, I'm halfway on Endor. You know, the
Ooh,
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Yeah.
Man.
First, the reason I watch it is because I think Diego Luna was like, he was a great actor.
Okay.
I'm totally not kind of buying into the whole universe. Maybe because I'm like watching it really slow, like one episode every couple of weeks, right? But it's actually really good compared to some which I really watch it in a stretch, like Obi-Wan, Kenobi. Yeah.
Yep.
Haven't been able to yet. I was so excited, but it's kind of boring.
Right, right.
Sorry to sound so
No, no. The thing is, right, Andor is the prequel to Rogue One, correct?
Yes.
Right? It's the prequel to Rogue One. So the thing about prequels and science fiction and fantasy, I feel like prequels kind of suck because you know all of them are going to die.
All right.
Technically, you're right.
Yeah, so it's like, wait a minute, I saw that movie. All of you guys died. So I don't know.
That's how it starts.
Some people want to know how they die.
No, they know how they died. It's just that all the way to how they died, right? The way to how they died.
They want to know the micro suffering that they face before they ultimately face their end.
Yeah, and so that's one of the problems. I didn't really like that. And like you said, this new Star Wars universe, I feel like they're a little bit self-indulged. Are you guys big Star Wars fans?
I used to be, man, but I realized I wasn't when the last one I watched was Rogue One. Rogue One is the one where the
When Donnie Yen is flying.
maybe I didn't even watch Rogue One. I watched the one before that with the
Rogue One is the
with
they're looking for the plans of the Death Star.
with
You know the Death Star.
Oberyn, Oberon with Oberon. Oberon.
Oh, what's his face? The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. That was the last one I saw, man.
Oh, okay. Mandalorian is good.
Yeah, but after that, I realized when I saw like the reviews, or not reviews, like the reveals of the upcoming Star Wars, it didn't catch the flame.
Yeah, those. I saw a YouTube video about like the analysis or something like that. It's because some of the series that they start, they were trying to catch on to all the big names. You know, like you have your Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then you have your Darth Vader,
Right.
or making like a cameo,
Come back.
things like that. Those are the foreign ones, but the good ones are basically side character like Mandalorian.
Right.
And Endor is pretty good so far. I mean, the story is really captivating, but for the rest, the one before that, like I have to say, right, the Obi-Wan kid, it's really dirty.
So it's Andor.
Andor, is it?
Yeah.
Andor is one with the small footy. Ewoks, yes. Andor is Ewoks, right?
I don't know. No, it's Diego Luna's character. He in Rogue One, kind of as a fighter or something like that, right? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, it's kind of show how he grew up, how he doesn't have a parent, and then his adopted family, and then he's like trying to find out something, and then he got into trouble and then he accidentally killed someone, and then that's the beginning of his like journey towards being on the rebel side, because they start off the story as him being, really neutral, doesn't care about, very apolitical, right? He just want to live his life. It doesn't matter whether the empire is really evil as long as he gets power.
Right.
Yeah. Then it kind of shows the transition of him being devoted to the rebel cause.
Did something happen to him by?
I'm not there.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm still halfway.
So you're still in the space where he's doing okay. He's just, why is he already starting to feel like he wants to go?
I'm explaining that because on episode 4 or something like that, and this guy who keeps telling him that, oh, I don't want to waste a talent like you, you should join the rebel, So, and obviously we know where it goes, right? It just how
How he get there?
and he died, no one.
They all died. They all died.
Yeah.
No, I think there's some confusion here. I realize that the creators of Star Wars have made a mistake because they've made a planet called Endor and a planet called Andor.
Yeah. I did the planet Endor, right?
So yeah,
Those who show me are cool guys who not geeks.
We're jumping like Andor are two different planets of the Star
the
Wars.
Ewok was correct if you were talking about it.
We have a life. But besides that serious stuff, I really like trash TV. I guess fans of trash TV.
Okay.
Fine. What is?
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine.
I'm thinking reality TV.
Miami Housewives.
Yes, that. But I'm talking about the 90 Days Fiance, 90 Days before the 90 Days Fiance. That's one. But Netflix kind of have their polished trash TV too. The Love Inferno is a Korean reality TV. I know you guys are totally not the demographic for it, but get it right. So basically,
Before you go too far, okay. So earlier on, you were saying, what is the first trash TV show that you said?
before 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 Days.
90 Day Fiance. Okay, explain a little bit first. What is the 90 Day Fiance? Fascinating, right?
Alright, so this show kind of taught me how to become like an immigration lawyer already. 90 days is because when they apply for the marriage visa, I think it's called K1 or something. I don't know what's the visa code, but basically they have 90 days to get married and apply for that's the window they can apply for the green card.
Okay.
So the other person who's like a foreigner, gets to go to America and stuff like that. Yeah. So before the 90 days.
Sounds so dodgy.
Yeah. Okay, so this is on the Learning Channel,
Right.
TLC, right? They have about 12 to 16 spin-off,
Right.
90 days before the 90 days, and then they'll zoom in on a couple, then they have their own series. But the one that I watch exclusively is before the 90 days.
Right.
Basically, a bunch of Americans
Mhm.
travel to far-off foreign places where they meet their
Love of their life.
the significant other, right? And get to know them. You typically get to know them because most of the time they have never met.
Okay.
They have never met,
Okay.
right? And then the next thing you need to do is get married. Yeah. Basically, that's the conclusion of the season, whether they are proposed or not, right? And
Oh, you know what? I think I've seen a clip of this on social media somewhere.
Big Head, the guy who put mayonnaise on his head.
I don't know who's who, but there's one guy who's kind of like hubby looking, and he's got this girl from Eastern Europe, and she's like, no, you need to pay me this much money. I need to get like she was super gold digger. And this guy, like, maybe because he's a little awkward looking, he did not care.
He's a
about
white
it.
guy, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. What which is that?
It's,
Just
I think it's from that show,
Right.
but it's not the one I'm watching currently. But yeah, they're talking about it's like Eastern European Russian, right?
Yeah.
And the guy always lies to him about how much money he has, right? And he keeps going further and further into debt.
Yeah.
That is the trash I'm talking about.
Okay,
So there's two, but the one I'm talking about, the Love Inferno, so that's like the polished trash, like the real good looking one.
okay.
It's like with all the drama, but the people you're looking at is way better looking than you. Which is not
appealing.
Yeah. Which is not a flavor I like.
You like it raw.
Yeah. I kind of I'm not that good.
I saw one. There's where the reality TV show is like people in full body makeup.
Oh.
Have you seen that one? So it's like you're dating a cat or you're dating a cat, and you don't know what the other person looks like.
It's a mask, right?
Yeah, some kind of mask thing. But like you have to fall in love with the person's personality or something like that, right?
What?
I'll find it, man. I'll find it.
The premise is basically, I don't know why I have this knowledge about this trash TV, but basically the premise is that they're all really looking like they're like a humanoid animal, right? They wear a really elaborated, really well done mask.
That's great.
Whether they're a fox or duck or cat, I don't know. But they're really looking, you can tell. So it's three girls and one guy, and it kind of like this guy got picked, based on personality, right? And then every time
It all starts with a contribution.
Then review how good looking they are.
Wow.
And then
And owns a surplus share of
Yeah.
So it's basically an exercise in testing how much you value personality versus looks actually. Okay.
Okay, so this is the one that I was talking about, the 90-Day Fiancé. Anfisa and Danielle.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this Anfisa? I am so glad I do not go to the corners of the internet that you guys go to.
No, this I never looked this up, but this is okay. My data has to not like be working right now. But this guy.
Yeah.
And this girl is from she's like very straight up. Like I'm a gold digger, and
like he's aware of it.
he's aware of
Yeah.
this, and
Wow.
she treats him like crap, and he's laps it up loud basically,
Yeah.
and it's very sad.
Yeah.
It's basically like that guy who like hover hands that what's the name of that camera site?
Camera site? Cam site? Or what? I don't know any cam site.
Fans, only fans.
Oh, right.
Like, this guy was simping, like he was dropping like six, 7K a month.
Oh, okay.
And then he happened to meet her in somewhere lah. I don't know where.
Is that a real story?
Yeah. No, overseas. Then he had an Instagram picture of him and her, but then he was just hover hands.
Oh, okay. So
And then
that's
somebody was saying like, this guy drops 8 bars for her.
for his hand to hover
For his
around
hand to
her
hover.
proximity. Yeah. Okay, so the funny thing about this, also 98 knowledge, is that you know how the season they have their act one and then they have the climax and then end of season, right?
Yeah.
So the way that they present it, make it assume as if like they're gonna break up, right? Because he's getting further into further debt,
Right.
and then she's getting more and more demanding, like yelling and screaming, really abusive. But after the shows aired and done with, they're still together for like a couple of years.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Are they still together?
Still, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
as of last couple of years.
I mean, no, after the season ends.
Oh, okay.
After the season ends, they're still together for a couple of years.
Wow.
So that itself, the fact itself, defies everybody's logic. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
Maybe he got a bigger pocket than all of us assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one. I think it's called Sexy Beasts,
Yeah.
where they're all. I don't know why the videos are not loading. They should be loading, but they basically dress up like this,
Oh.
and then you don't know whether they're good looking or bad looking or whatever. And you just kind of like need to make a.
But what if one day, like one of the girls is like, I fell in love with the costume.
That would make her. That would make her.
She's a furry. She's a furry.
Yeah.
She's like, wet dreams.
Never ever take off the mask.
Yeah. I'll marry you in this one.
Yeah,
My
there's definitely some comedy to be had there.
Yeah.
You can think about the set. We were talking about something earlier on, saying that was gonna
The trash TV.
Trash
Trash
TV,
TV,
yeah.
I can still go on about the two.
Would
Okay.
okay.
Go ahead.
Would my kind of stuff be considered trash TV? I like watching those um, murder reveals, 1990s ship guy,
The true crime stuff.
true crime shit. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a saying that it's all made for like suburban ladies. You know, only like those women who spend a lot of time at home.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
love those shows. But I like it too. You know, I love it too. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love their motivation
Yeah.
and then how they fucked up.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I get a bit of a Schadenfreude from that, you know, like
Right.
you feel a little.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there'll be like if I were him, I would have done it this way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess my trash TV would be a lot of this outrage videos, like
Oh,
some Karen gone crazy.
Damn, you like to watch the news.
Yeah, pretty much. This is something called Watch the Watchers.
Watch the watches. How does that work? Oh no, audit the audit.
The audit.
The audit.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. He brought me on this stupid rabbit hole. I was like, the audit. So I YouTube learned the stupid thing. And then I was so fascinated, and I understood what he meant. If you suddenly get so fascinated in some sub law in Mississippi that you're never ever going to encounter in your life, you know, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I'll just give you some context, right? Audit the audit is all the police body cams in the States, right? And how it's sort of like when the police overstep their boundaries and how cool the police can be, right? And the guy in the video says, when this guy said this, Mississippi statute like this, and he'd show like the form, where what are the laws, and that.
And you are here pausing that shit. You are there pausing that shit to like, all right.
Oh, Minnesota isn't a stop and ID state, but California is. You know, like something like it's
To this day,
right?
if only you did that for the hour long, right?
Yeah.
You could be that. I don't know what kind of law that is, but you could be a specialist in that law,
No, I think,
immigration law. You know?
it's like uses information, right? But it's so you just get angrier and angrier as you watch the show, right? Like that, it's just that feeling of these people are too much, you know. What's wrong with these people?
But
right?
you know, I realize it's not just YouTube. The entire internet is this rage-inducing machine that's so good.
Yeah.
You go on Twitter, you spend enough time on Twitter, there's gonna be somebody who's like ticks you off, you just immediately like start the post. And if you catch yourself, you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm feeding the algorithm, man.
Yeah. That's what they say. Like Web 2.0, is you know what Web 1.0, 1.2, 2.0, and 3.0 is?
I think I do.
Okay, so
Yeah, remind me again.
Sure, no problem. No problem. Everybody knows what that is, right? Okay. So yeah, Web 1.0 was when it's very passive. It's where you just go to a blog post, you go to a newspaper, you read an article, you don't do any interaction with it, right? Web 2.0 is basically you give all the content, you upload all the videos and the pictures and everything, and then the company makes all the money. Basically that's how it works. And Web 3.0 is where you create the content, or you can also own some of the content. So some of it is yours, right?
Okay.
So it's like in theory, like what NFTs were. We're talking about that, right? So NFT is like Web 3.0 is where you own that digital whatever.
Exactly. This is something I just tweeted on Twitter recently about how they're talking about this Padu, this government thingamajig software, right? And somebody was saying, oh, you know, it's still centralized or something like that. And I said, actually, the centralization of data is not necessarily that good an idea. You know, your data, who should it belong to?
Should belong to you.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Obama for some reason. change my idea.
Your data belongs to you.
Yeah, I find the idea of IC identification card is kind of like too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is a very interesting perspective.
Too much.
Too much in terms of civil liberties, or too much in terms of what your daily requirement to remember something?
It's mostly the data. keeping the data.
But think about it. We already have an IC, which is the IC, the physical identity card.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what we're talking
That's
about.
all.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the card, but of course the data that comes along with it, right?
Okay.
Because now it's digital and everything, right? You can even put fucking touch and go.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
use for that.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're gonna track me or anything like that, but they could potentially.
Right.
I'm not sure if having this kind of idea is a sign of old age.
Right.
But yeah, I'm still pretty liberal, I guess. Yeah.
No, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
The thing about IC, I guess, the danger is that you're technically supposed to carry it with you everywhere.
Yeah.
And what happens if you don't?
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only issue. Hopefully they don't deport you or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually from San Francisco. You can send me back there, no problem.
Well, free freedom at 3
Yeah, yeah,
is
exactly.
sponsored by
Yeah,
the
sponsored.
JPN.
It's a very mandatory piece of plastic that you have to
Right.
have all yourself. Without it, they can like detain you and
Right.
or even you lose it, you go into like very trouble. Like sometimes you even question your own identity without realizing, like, am I really Max? If this card even says I'm Max, am I?
Who am I?
Yeah. Who am I? So yeah, I guess kind of ingrained into.
Okay,
It's,
fair.
it's,
Fair.
it's your anchor in this whole thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What's the name of that movie? Anchor.
Anchor.
Memento? No. The maker of Memento guy, the one with the buildings collapsing, the Leonardo DiCaprio and the dreaming.
Oh, right. Yes.
Inception.
Inception.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I didn't watch it once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Only watch it once.
I watched it once.
Then you found it boring.
No. I didn't find it really exciting.
Okay.
But I find that a lot of people try to say like they watch it a lot of times. Not because they don't understand it, because they learn so much.
Right.
I think one time is enough. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, I thought Inception was maybe the peak of what's his face, the guy who he did Batman also, right?
Nolan.
Nolan, yes, Christopher
Okay.
Nolan. Yeah, I think that's probably his high. I haven't really liked a lot of stuff from him after that.
Okay.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I never really cared about who wrote the movie usually.
Right.
But it's only after I have seen somebody by some guy and I ask, like, who is this guy? And then somebody might say, then I might have a look at it.
Okay, so who is your favorite Batman?
Who's my favorite Batman?
Yeah.
This is the thing that's been on Twitter recently, right? Somebody was talking about what's his face, the depressed Batman. What's his name? One kills people. Ben Affleck.
No, not Ben Affleck. Not Ben Affleck. The Twilight guy.
Oh yeah, that guy. Sparks. No, Nicholas.
No, it's not.
Edward. That's his.
Edward Robert Pattinson. Not even in the same ballpark.
Edward is his name
In the series, Twilight series.
Right.
But yeah,
Oh, okay, all right. See, I did not know that.
Romance.
I'm watching different things, I guess. So yeah.
I grew up in the age of Christian Bale Batman,
Okay.
but I kind of find him quite goofy right now.
Christian
Okay.
Bale.
I watch that, with the voice.
So yeah.
Is it?
Oh no, my hands are-
Without the mask. it's too much.
Yeah, no, I feel like that Batman was fine, but the voice was just too funny. Like I didn't really think much of it, but after so many people make fun of it,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, actually that's
Yeah.
pretty ridiculous.
They're right. Yeah.
I like the Pattinson one though. I thought it
I haven't
was
watched Batman yet. It's called The Batman, right?
The Batman,
Yeah.
yeah, correct.
I have not watched it yet. Is it good?
I liked it. I thought it was entertaining, but I'll say now, I don't remember a single thing about the movie. The only thing I remember is that cool ass entrance he made. I think in the subway when he beat up all those punks, and then he went to see the inspector at the crime scene or something.
Okay, fuck Batman. What about the Joker? Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh, actually,
You guys skip that too?
Skip that.
Now, this is what I hear about the Joker, right? I feel like everybody apes in on whoever's the latest Joker.
Apes in?
Yeah.
Okay.
As in, like, if this is the latest Joker, this is the best Joker. Whatever's the latest Joker. Because this is who I feel got a little bit from our buddy, man. Who's our buddy that we met in MTV Asia Award?
Mr. Jared Leto!
Jared Leto!
30 Seconds to Mars!
30 Seconds to Mars, man. No, me and Max met him in real life.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, we were at the MTV Music Awards. So he spoke to us briefly, right? We were
Yeah,
okay,
because he's the host,
right? Yeah.
so he kind of like greeted all of us. It's a thing that they do, and then some they hang around afterwards, but everybody kind of dismissed because it was a 3-day thing, right?
Yeah. No, Malaysians were nuts at that award. The Pussycat Dolls and everyone was there, and the media, okay, the so-called working professionals here, right? As the conference is about to end, the media is slowly inching forward closer and closer to the stage. Like, and the moment it finished, everybody got on stage and took pictures. Right?
Oh,
Super
shit.
Junior was there.
Oh yeah,
Super
Super
Junior.
Junior. Oh yeah, the K-pop band. Yeah.
That was kind of like the beginning of the K-pop craze.
Yes,
I think.
correct.
This it was ridiculous, but then maybe you don't because you're totally not the demographic, right? But they are famous because they have like 11 members.
No, I know Super
Oh,
Junior. I actually.
Which I find super ridiculous. They each sing live in a song.
But a lot of them have that, right? The K-pop bands, like
Yeah.
okay, 5 and 6 is almost standard, but you get like 8, 10, and then I don't know what's going on. They got a whole army.
Freaking 11 is a football game.
Yeah, the issue that I have is that I don't like some of the bands where they all look the same.
All right.
They've got, like, if I'm going to follow a 6-member girl band, right? I need them to at least like be 3 different types of girls. You know? You can't be all the same, right?
You know,
yeah.
a hardcore fan will be like,
Excuse
actually,
me.
they have a
Educate me.
lot of differences.
Oh, right. A lot of
Yeah.
differences, yes.
Don't be so superficial.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if you checked out my Spotify, you'd be surprised, man. My top artist, Blackpink.
Oh, yeah.
I love Blackpink too. Yeah. They're good.
They're really good. I like it.
This is how good or this is how I guess close that I know is that there's this group called G Idol.
G Idol.
Have you heard of them?
No.
They're pretty catchy, and they did the song with League of Legends, the KDA.
Oh,
That's how I-
KDA.
Yeah. So what happened?
Kill Death Assist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's League of Legends.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's the band. So the band is super catchy, but I went down the rabbit hole a little bit, found out about this band called G Idol, right? So in that band, I can tell that there are like 2 cute girls, 2 model girls, and 2 bad girls. That one I can keep track.
Okay.
But if you're all like all cute girls, all model girls, all bad girls, I can tell the difference. Yeah.
You need a little bit alternative.
Yeah. At least you have a different genre a bit now, you know what I mean? Not all so cute girls, then it's like this is cute girl 3, I guess. You know?
Cute Girl Year 2023. which year are they from? You know. But that's the thing. That's how they get you, right? You know, they specifically craft this group of people to appeal to your taste, right? I mean, it's especially evident in the boy group, right? You got a good guy, you got a naughty guy, you know, you got a guy with piercing, you got a fashion guy, right? You got a guy who raps,
Yeah.
right? That's all the guy need.
That's why we manufacture candy pop band.
Right.
Maybe a dumb group, you got a family guy. I don't know.
The thing that makes me very sad is that rock music has died.
Oh,
Like there's no like rock music in the top 40 now.
Yeah.
And like some artists, they have actually dropped a bunch of really good tracks, and like nobody knows about it because like rock music is like dead. Okay, so just as an experiment, I'm gonna play some
okay.
songs that are from artists that you should know. Did I actually tell you this game with you? Okay, I have this game with you. These are artists that you should know, and this is a new songs.
I can't really remember Robert Pattinson's name. Sorry, I have no faith in this.
Do you follow rock music or not? Do you listen to rock music?
I'm very much into the early 2000s. You know the
Okay.
My Chemical Romance.
Oh, My Chemical Romance.
Yellow Card.
Okay,
Sum
so
41.
Yellow
So-
Cab, etc. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Blink-182.
Blink-182. Okay.
Okay, so these are some of the bands. Let's see if who really can guess it.
Yellow Card.
Sounds like the group that they come.
I've heard this before.
So are these like really old rock bands?
These
like
are rock. You know them, like
Like
early
Metallica.
2000s. No. Okay, I'll wait for the drop and then I'll give you the clue, okay?
It sounds really new.
Yeah. Not familiar, huh?
It sounds like an emo band.
I guess it is from the early 2000s.
Nine Inch Nails or something.
No.
No.
No. So, okay.
No idea.
So, imagine
You met him.
You mean 30 Seconds to Mars?
30 seconds of
30
Mars.
seconds.
Is he doing music?
He's still doing music, man.
I thought his law is that he became like this or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, how about this one? Okay, how about this one?
Soundgarden?
No. I think when you hear the voice come in, you'll know who it is.
Oh, you just.
Yeah, Slim Biscuit.
Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, Slim Biscuit. They had a new album not too long ago.
What is it called?
Out of Style. This song is called Out of Style. This album is, I think it's called Still Sucks. Yeah.
This live is gonna be copyright taken down like shit.
You are so right.
Yeah, we did think about that.
Hey man, you live life with edge.
So anyway, let's hopefully us song will like
Right.
No,
you
were saying your Rage video. I'm kind of curious. You know,
You gotta watch it, right? It's great.
audit, right?
Audit.
So what kind of obscure law you can think of right now?
So this is the thing. So I find that the problem in the States, right, is that
Here we go.
Here we go. A lot of citizens feel that they do not need to ID themselves,
Okay.
and a lot of police officers say that you absolutely need to ID yourself.
Yeah.
So that's the problem I think in the States. So there's always this attitude of like, give me your ID. Says, why should I give you my ID? I don't have to show you my ID. Yes, you do. And then boom, the whole thing goes to
Yeah, that's the weird thing. How do they think it's gonna proceed if they do
Right.
not give the identification, right?
Yeah.
How do you think they're gonna go?
That is true, but I understand in the States their culture is different. They have this like, you don't need to ID me unless I'm like
Yeah.
doing
Fifth
something.
Amendment or whatever, right?
Yeah. It's
Has there ever been one person who's like, no, I'm not gonna ID myself, and then the police like, ah man, no.
Hey, actually, I
sometimes,
I have
not
seen
exactly like that. Not exactly like that, but yes.
Yeah, the officer will try a few times, but eventually the guy will be like, nope. And then the guy will be like, okay, he's free to go.
Yeah. There's some cops who are just like, wait, this is a trap.
You do that, make sure you try it. You get slapped.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not go there.
I'm not sure if it's the privilege,
Yeah.
but they have the right to like not answer any questions.
Yeah.
You know, the lawyers always say, "Oh, don't say anything," and
No.
they really don't say anything. I don't think I'll say a lot of things.
But
I'll say everything.
so this is the thing. This law definitely applies to the States more, but I think it applies everywhere, right? Which is that you talking to the police
Yeah,
can only be bad.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
never good.
I agree.
So you must have a lawyer there
Right.
where you talk to the lawyer and the lawyer says, you can say that or you can't say that. You can say that, you can't say that.
I absolutely agree.
I
Yeah.
agree.
You know, I absolutely agree with that. That's why I say it's privileged that they have the balls to do it. They're like, no, I'm not coming. I'll be like, shit, I'm just a yellow skinned guy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say anything.
Yeah. I did it. You know what? I didn't do it, but I did do it. So yeah. No, I've had some interesting encounters with police. I'm just gonna share with you one of them. Right. One of them was I was in my car and I was in my old Honda, right? And I was with somebody. I can't remember who it was. And as I was driving, I saw this police car in front of me, and the policeman just put his head out the window and looked at me.
Wow.
So I was like,
That's creepy.
that's a bit strange. That's odd, right? So then I was just like, okay. And then as I went across this tunnel, right? One police car was in front of me, one police car was then behind me, and then the one behind me blared his sirens, right?
Oh shit.
And then I'm like,
They're getting
okay.
you on a pincer maneuver.
Yeah, pizza, whatever,
Yeah.
right? Exactly.
Front and back. Eiffel Tower.
Oh damn. That's a different kind of.
Yeah.
Different kind of show. That's a different kind of show. Yeah. Some people might. Oh, okay. What's the difference? I'm going to ask you this. Okay, between the Eiffel Tower and the London Bridge.
They're not touching hands.
They're not high fiving.
Yeah.
It's a high five. It's a high five.
Exactly.
So.
That's the logic towards that.
Yeah.
One is shitting out.
Yeah. So anyway, after they pulled me over, fled the sirens, the cops came out with their hands on their holster and creeped towards my car.
What?
Yeah. So I'm watching this.
I've never seen. Okay.
I'm like, what is happening, right? What is going on? So then he pulls down the says, my IC, right? And then like I gave him my IC, and he looked at it and he was just like, like stop the guy, you know. So I think that's what was going on, like, you know. He was like disappointed, like, you know, oh, this is the wrong matcha. So
Here's a lesson: never drive a old Honda.
yeah, exactly. You don't know who's
Only criminals drive them.
old Honda, exactly. Yeah.
Man.
So,
But if that's the case, then that's pretty well trained, though.
Yeah.
That's totally not what I would expect you to do.
yeah.
In the US, I have a feeling you would have a couple of holes in the car.
Yeah.
Then they ask you for
Even blocking you from further back.
yeah, they'll ask you for license and registration, and when you reach for it, they'll be like, God.
Everything.
Oh, I did ask him for license and registration. Actually, yes, that's probably what he was getting.
I don't want to be grim here, but sometimes in that part of the world, they do have to worry a lot
They do, yeah.
because the pedestrian, right? They carry, they arm themselves. as well.
Concealed carry.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And sometimes they go crazy, man.
Yeah. No, it makes everybody on edge. The whole
Yeah.
gun thing makes everybody on edge.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about that, like I've been to America a long time ago on holiday, but I think that time not so many guns. And I don't think it was even a thing you think about. But now I thought, right, if I wanted to, I mean, not that I'm going anytime soon, but I thought about if I went there, I think I would be very, very afraid
Yeah.
of people with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go outside of the big city.
Big city, exactly.
Even in the city, you gotta
I'm pretty sure there are areas that we should just not walk
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
stick to the tourists.
Like I was there. There was this, Penn and Teller, the
Oh, yeah.
magicians, right? So I went for their show
Vegas,
in Vegas. Yes.
dope.
Yeah. Then one thing a little bit strange though. Okay, just a side note a little bit. So I get a little nervous when I'm around a bunch of people who are one race.
Right.
So if I'm in a room full of Indians, I'm not feeling it. If I'm in a room full of Chinese, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah,
You know?
I think everybody feels that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Especially if you're not the same race as said race.
Yeah. But I just
When you're only odd guy out.
when you're the only odd guy.
Obvious odd. Yeah.
So in this particular show, everybody was white.
Okay.
So I was like the only non-white, and I was just afraid at some point in the show they're gonna be like, "This is the part of the show where we all put our hoods on, all right? Where's your hood?"
Bro.
Hey! Yeah!
I was like surrounded, man.
So,
Walk into a meeting. Huh?
Oh, that was the Penn and Teller show is next door. So yeah, in that show they had a gun. So and when I saw a gun on stage, I got like, oh man, that's like kind of weird, kind of scary, right? And they had this thing where they ask them to come and check the gun, and then they shoot the gun at the other guy, and the other guy catches the bullet in his mouth. So it's some kind of
Damn!
some kind of
You watch it
scam.
live.
faster
Yeah,
than light.
yeah. It's some kind of scam thing now. It's some kind of magician thing,
They
right?
sign your name on the bullet, right? So make sure it's the right bullet.
No. But I'm watching it and I'm feeling very like at ease because gun culture there is like very, very normal. It's not like when you see a gun, right? You feel a little bit like, oh damn, man, a gun. Yeah. But
I feel like that when I see a gun on a cop, like you're supposed to expect them to have guns, but even then I'm like, oh wow, this is one of those armed ones. I'm like, oh shit.
that's true. That's true. Not everyone is armed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The British police, they're not armed, I think.
No, British police are not armed. They only have batons.
Yeah, tall hats.
And tall hats, so they can say hello.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Las Vegas because I think it's near, but it's like a tourist place.
Right.
I think recently or something like you can rent a tank and drive
What
a
the
car.
fuck?
Yeah, in Las Vegas. Yeah. So it's kind of became like this tourist place, right?
Right.
Even for Americans,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And they have the money to drum up to do these kind of weird things.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Right? You're talking about a military tank, lah.
Yeah, like a decommission, probably not road safety, but just like in a park kind of thing, right?
Right.
So they have a rundown car, right?
That you can ride over.
Yeah, ride over or fuck with, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. In Las Vegas.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
there.
And a bunch of shooting range. They
Oh,
shoot out in
yeah.
the desert, so
Oh, yeah,
guns
yeah.
are totally normal.
I actually would want to try that because that would feel okay, lah, right?
Right.
Just
Shoot into the sand.
Yeah, no,
Take that, Mother Nature.
the thing is that guns,
Yeah.
guns are not necessarily bad until it becomes like a religion. You know, like a gun is a tool where you use like a screwdriver to
Yeah.
like fix a cabinet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're never gonna shoot a politician who's like, I'm pro screwdriver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pro.
Hey, I'm pro Phillips.
Yeah.
Flathead, motherfucker.
I'm pro power. I'm pro like it's just a tool, right?
Representing default.
Yeah. And they're like,
Black
they're
Panther,
never,
motherfucker.
they're never gonna take my guns away, right?
Yeah.
They take my guns away, but it's sort of like, okay, but if they take your guns away, nothing really changes. But if they take all your screwdrivers away,
Oh,
Yeah.
now you're screwed.
It's
Yeah.
just-
Where's my pro screwdriver Phillips head politician? Yeah.
My goodness, the things people get.
Yeah. So they're really,
Um,
they're really like you say, you know, they're privileged in the sense of not identifying themselves, and then where that's all things goes wrong,
goes
right?
wrong.
Yeah. So I think it's a common like I don't want to identify myself. You need to identify yourself. Am I free to go? Am I under arrest? Or you're not under arrest. You're detained. You can't go. You know. It just goes.
And
Sometimes,
then it goes bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. And then it goes face first in the floor, and then yeah.
I hate to be the person that say it, but sometimes I just love corruption, man.
Yeah.
In Malaysia, you know, it's just easy a
The
transaction.
worst that happens is you doing a
There's
transaction.
no fucking, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's
Yeah.
only problem is whether you can afford it or not. That's it. Yeah, it's pretty
Just
much.
eat nasi lemak for a couple of days.
You
Right?
know how you recover from an empty, like the Glock,
Empty,
empty
gun,
into your body. Yeah.
Sometimes this kind of assurance
Yeah.
is what you need, right? Corruption, right?
You know, that's about the worst that can happen.
Okay.
You heard it here first, folks. Popcorn Rants.
All right.
Not-
So, yeah, that's Max. So before we get arrested, what other movies did you want to talk about?
Right, yes. I want to talk about this awesome anime I'm watching. It's a one called Pluto.
Okay.
And it's about androids. So there's a bunch of like super duper champion androids that, as a human being, you would not be able to tell that it was an android. There's 7 of them spread across the world.
7?
Yeah, 7. And then one day, one of them, the first one, so he's the least human-looking of them. This one was more the start of real emotions, feeling, whatever. He was found dead. And then soon after, in what seemed to be like a tornado in nature. And then the second one also was found dead. And then we see a guy who is a detective in the story trying to find out what's the connection. Haven't seen the whole cartoon yet, but it's really good.
Okay.
It's really nice.
Why do you say it's so good?
It's a nice murder mystery in a way.
Oh, okay.
And it's also interesting in the sense of what is the potential of AI to be that? So good that it can be human. Is it now considered a life form? Is
Like the
it-
Turing
the
effect,
Turing,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay, so this is my theory, right? I think that when we're worried about like AI going to be like a Turing test or whatever, right? I think there's one thing that AI does not have, which we have, which is desire. AI just does its thing. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas for us, we have this very weird like desire to do certain like overtake you or to whatever. What do you desire? You wanna
It's like a motivation,
Drive.
an abstract idea, right?
Yes. Whereas the machine is just sort of like, I just wanna encode movies.
Actually,
You know, like-
that is correct.
Right.
What you are talking about is something I've thought about quite a bit. And in the end, the thing that I always see as lacking is that the drive, the need to, the want to do something.
Yeah. So like if you're a machine that's programmed to be like the best girlfriend or whatever, right? So that would be your task.
That would be all you can be.
Yeah, and then it's sort of like, later, what happens if the machine is not happy? That to be not happy, you need to have a desire to do something else.
Yeah, right.
But that's like it's almost like a human flaw, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You have
Very philosophical here.
yeah, exactly. Philosophical, yeah. But I don't think machines will have that because that needs to be, unless you want to specifically program that in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea to program emotions.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting on the philosophical front, I guess that's why they call some people machines.
Right.
They're so devoid of emotions, right?
Right.
They're just doing what's needful.
These are the LinkedIn sociopaths. Let's hustle now. You.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, 6 a.m. All right, what do you do?
5 a.m. 5 a.m.
And then they will make you feel bad for just enjoying hot showers. Fuck, I like hot showers.
Run a mile. Asian traffic.
Take a hot shower. Be a winner. You choose. That kind of bullshit. Like you. I'll take a hot shower.
And they'll give you like statistically, did you know that if you banked in $10 a month, and after 5 years, everything that you're gonna have is like $1.2 million, and I don't know how that math works. So yeah.
Sometimes you can't tell whether it's
Yeah. A couple of times I've been caught. Like, I read the whole thing. I'm like, what a jackass. And then you get home. Name doesn't check out.
Is this supposed to be?
Yeah.
So, Fadil, how's the Pluto's animation? I assume it's dope.
Pretty good lah. I wouldn't say dope. The robots are pretty nice. As in they actually they're all android humanoid kind of form, so just a few people. But there are a few fight scenes where they have some kind of extra exoskeletal armor, etc., which kind of looks kind of.
Here's a dumb question.
Sure.
Is it based in Pluto?
No, it isn't. Actually, I cannot for the life of me at the moment remember why
it's not a dumb question. It's very valid. I'm sure a lot of people think about it.
That's 9 planets in the solar system, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering if that's.
Wait, actually, however, Pluto is no longer classified as.
But it started out as 7 androids.
7.
Yeah. I thought it would be like something to do with the solar
Oh, I
system.
see.
Each represent a planet, but there's only 7.
Yeah.
Very deep, like this, Max.
Yeah, and then,
I like the way you think.
I don't know.
Kind of makes sense.
And then Pluto is maybe the 8 and the 9 and forgotten.
Yeah, so you said, 9/missing, forgotten.
But I'm buzzing about these crime drama cartoon nowadays. Typically, it's all these shonen. You know how these kids go to school and then they become great and then they're never defeated and they're defeated once and then they get better again.
Right.
That
Basically,
kind of animation.
the Dragon Ball formula, basically.
The shonen kind of
Yeah,
formula.
Shonen Jump formula.
Okay. Speaking of sci-fi, I watched this show called For All Mankind on Apple TV. Have you heard of it?
No.
So it's got an interesting premise. It's like, what if instead of Neil Armstrong and the Americans landing on the moon,
It was
the Russians, the president, what would have happened? Basically, things end up for the better because America never gives up its space program. It's always competing with Russia and they're trying to get to Mars first. So that's the
They have a drive.
They have a drive, yeah. They have a drive because after they won that race, the move,
That was it.
they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
interested anymore. Yeah. And it goes on all the way until like the 2000s, the 90s or 2000s, right?
Wow.
From the 60s, yeah. So the thing about it that's funny is that because it spans so many decades, right? Every season is like a new decade.
Oh.
So they need to use actors that can kind of be 20
Right.
and kind of be 40.
Yeah.
And you got like this actress who's obviously in her early 30s, right? Playing a teenager. Then it's like, just because she's Asian, you think she can get away with it, is it?
Fellow kids moment.
Oh man, you are really in tune with your internets.
Yeah,
You live there, don't you?
a lot. Yeah.
Are you fortunate?
No. It scares me
Oh.
with the content and also how things is really fast.
Oh.
And then you gotta refer to the number and things like
But
that.
I actually do go to 4chan every now and then. You know, it's an interesting place to go.
Okay. 4chan. I'm still more.
Go to the
regular.
random board, random
Oh, okay.
4chan R, I think. Not R. I can't
Slash
remember.
R. Something. I don't know.
Slash R is Reddit. This one.
But yeah, okay,
4chan
yeah, right.
random.
But a lot of great stuff came from there. A lot of horrible stuff too. But
Right.
A lot of the stuff that first comes out there. I feel. Then it goes to like Reddit. Then it filters down to Twitter. And
yeah,
if you're reading it on Facebook, you read it too late.
Right.
I think it says more about me than the place. It's because I have no opinion about it, so I can't say anything about it. But I think I'm just afraid what I'll stumble upon.
Right. Gotcha.
Right.
And very valid, I
Yeah.
think.
If it catches me on Reddit, then okay, fine. You know what? I'm on Reddit. You know, maybe some guy. I can blame it on someone having malicious intent.
Right.
But if it's on 4chan or dark web, I'm just asking for it, right? Yeah. It's like me going into a dark alley wearing skinny flat.
Yeah.
Just word.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of bums there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I also watched.
But the show sounds great, though. Definitely.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about it.
I don't really have Apple TV, though, so I guess I'll
Of course you do. He's called the pirate.
watch it alternatively. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's a little draggy at some points. So I just kind of like sometimes. Have you ever watched a show where it's sort of like they go off on a tangent and they talk about some of the characters,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But I have like a limit. Like I care more about the story, and some characters are just sort of like, does it matter that this person is having relationship problems? Like I don't really care.
You don't like the plot B, right?
I don't like the plot B.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You?
Some shows does plot B really well.
Right.
Yeah, I think Scrubs.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love every single whatever brand, stupid brands they have.
Those sitcoms, those some sitcoms, 30 Rock, they do plot B really well.
Right.
But for drama plot B, I mean, it kind of needs to tie it all together. It cannot be totally
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I like to learn about characters along the way of the story, right? And not as opposed to like just breaking off. And,
Yeah, like the tangent that you
Yes.
spoke about. Yeah.
It has to sort of tie back into the main event with some conclusion, obviously.
Yeah.
So I've also watched this the new Rick and Morty
Ooh.
that has
Season
come out.
6?
This is the latest one, yeah, season 6, yeah. And there's one more show.
What do you think though? Because there's a lot to talk about that.
So you've seen the whole thing?
No, I've not seen it. I
Okay.
have not watched it at all. But it's because the whole the Justin
creator.
Bieber thing. Yeah.
The creator, right?
Yeah. And then,
What happened to him? I'm
oh, you have no idea what happened to him?
He's
Yeah.
done more than a few things. We said
He got kicked off the show
Okay.
because he got caught sexually.
kitty fiddling, right?
I'm not sure it's there allegedly.
Right.
Basically, the whole alleged story is that he sent some questionable text to some below average. What's it called?
Below age.
Below age, right?
Below average. He's just a 5. You know what I mean? I give you a 4. Jesus.
Like minus basically.
Right.
Yeah. Send out this weird grooming text.
Right.
So he got kicked off. He's no longer the voice.
Right.
So then they had a clip showing a new voice. Rick was a little bit off, but
Right.
Morty was kind of okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So in that, this is what I feel about Rick and Morty. I feel like the writing isn't as good in all episodes. Like in the previous seasons, all episodes were good, and now it's sort of like, this one is like not so great. Yeah, some of it is so. This episode is better, But early days Rick and Morty, almost every episode was good.
Okay.
That's what I feel like.
What do you think is the cause of that? Like, what do you think it's not so consistent as before?
So I felt that Rick and Morty had interesting premises, right?
Okay.
There's one premise where Rick is a pickle,
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah, Pickle Rick.
and then there's like an episode where they were like really tiny in some kind of beanstalk thing. Then
Right.
Morty,
Right. The one
Morty-
with the child molest.
Yeah. That one, like, so
I
and then,
remember that.
and there was another episode where like suddenly they've got like a quirky Uncle Bob or something like that, and he's like, we don't have
Oh,
Uncle
right.
Bob.
Is it Gary or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. He's like, we don't have an Uncle Bob, and then they're like,
It's a parasite.
it's a parasite alien. Yes, exactly. So the parasite alien mimics people. They plant fake memories, and every time they remember, there's like another character in their family, like a Mr. Belvedere.
They had a time travel one as well.
Oh,
Time
yeah.
travel episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that episode was crazy, man. I don't know how you I don't even know how to keep up with all the different characters as kids coming up.
Yeah.
Hey, is Member Berries also?
No. That one is South Park.
Oh, that's South Park.
But Soundbar did a new show called Enter the Panderverse.
What?
Is it a movie?
It's like a South Park long episode or an hour movie or something like that,
Okay.
where they're talking about how Hollywood panders and like
Oh.
And
to
the panda.
You must be thinking about the
panda. Yeah,
I
no,
was
I,
thinking
I
of
didn't.
panda.
I don't.
Kung Fu
I don't blame
panda.
you. I don't blame you. Absolutely. Yeah. No.
Panderers, yeah.
The pan. So everybody panda. So everybody in the show, like Cartman, is like a black woman now, and like all the guys have been replaced by like female casts. You know,
Trans.
so like trans,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, right? And it's like in an alternate reality, and like the real Cartman and the other Cartman switch places, and then they're making fun of like Disney, how Disney's formula to everything is,
Make it live action.
no, it's like make sure that you replace it with a gay woman and make it suck, something like that. So it's like, and then Cartman is like they specifically named someone from Disney.
Oh wow.
There's one girl, I don't know who, she's like the one who's running the show, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, the producer or something like
producer or
that.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting you talk about Rick and Morty because I kind of felt that already in kind of season 4.
Right.
Late 3.
Like this writing wasn't starting to go.
I mean, the reason I asked Charles about why he find it not good is also the same reason. I just don't know how to articulate well.
Mhm.
I think it's mostly because like they live in a really interesting world, right? And then each episode is episodic, right?
Yes.
The premise, right? But then somehow in season 2, they kind of like, oh, this is evil Morty, and then
Right.
the spy, the like overarching
Right.
team, right? They're doing more and more that in the later season. They don't have
Right.
that kind of wacky one episodic
Yeah.
Right.
20-minute adventure done
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I feel is kind of like the charm of the show, but at the same time, then you to sustain a longer
Right.
season of audience, right?
Right.
You kind of need that long plot, right?
Overarching.
Yeah.
Do you feel that Rick and Morty resembles a classic Japanese cartoon that we used to watch when we were kids?
You mean Doraemon?
Pokemon?
Yes, Doraemon.
Because of the
Exactly.
color scheme?
No, because of the color scheme. Think about it, right? Every episode
Oh,
is
right.
Rick has something.
Yeah.
Interesting idea. Naga, something, whatever, right? And every episode, Rick has his new idea. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like a Doraemon.
Wow.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I never seen it that way.
Neither
Right.
have I,
That's a
but
great.
I can see it.
Right.
I can see the.
You have this straight man with the solution, and then you got this.
Right.
They play a fool, right?
Like
Yeah.
like Morty's Nobita.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Wow.
village idiot, and then this guy shows him all sorts of universes of
Yeah.
all sorts of possibilities,
Yeah.
just like hey.
Right.
I guess the big difference is that in the Rick and Morty universe,
Mhm.
a lot of the solution is like emotional solution, right?
Right.
And most of the, as opposed to Doraemon, where it's like, here's a door that can travel anywhere.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Rick and Morty is basically the adult Doraemon.
Yeah. Talk
You know
about
what I mean? But
Bojack Horseman of Doraemon. Yeah.
Bojack. That's a good one. I like Bojack Horseman.
yeah.
So I've never seen it. Wow. Okay, that would make a great YouTube analysis video.
I'll think about it. Yeah.
No, Rick and Morty.
It's actually Doraemon.
Animated.
Right.
Reference here.
Yeah. So I also watched a little bit of Loki, the new Marvel show. Supposedly that's the good one. But
Oh yeah.
Season
Any
two,
of the
right?
Marvel stuff,
Yeah.
Loki is what people say is good to watch.
Is it any good?
Not that I watched.
It's so. I don't think it's that good, to be honest. Like there's some parts where I got bored, and there's a lot of this. Oh no, that's the spindle of time. The spindle of time does this, and if it doesn't do that, people are like are just making shit up as you go along. You know what I mean? So
Like almost staring at the camera. This thing here is what we're going to use as a subplot. The whole thing is going to be going on.
If they're not like multi-millionaire, worldwide celebrities, and if it's just a bunch of kids saying those kind of lines,
Right.
they're getting beat up for sure.
What do you say? Yeah, right.
yeah, and I feel like there's not enough danger from the one at the end. What do they call it? The guy at the end of time.
End of time.
Khan the Conqueror. And what do you call it?
Khan the Conqueror.
He who waits. something, and
Isn't Khan the Conqueror the Jonathan Major guy?
The guy,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
no longer it, right?
yeah.
Any sorry to disrupt, but I'm not into Marvel lore,
Right, right.
so I
Yeah,
have no
I know,
idea
right.
who this Khan
Right.
the Conqueror
Yeah,
is.
correct. That's the guy.
Okay.
So looks like they're not really doing great with their choices of actors because the
And
other
yet,
actors
the
gonna become
Ezra
the
guy-
Flash or the
The
Flash.
Ezra
Oh,
guy
yes,
is
yeah,
just
yeah.
walking around like he did nothing wrong. The hell is this selective
Right.
justice bullshit?
Yeah, he's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, Ezra
What
Miller.
color is the color conqueror guy? I wonder.
Oh, right. Yeah, definitely.
What is he,
But I
was
think
he
he's
white?
Spanish also or something like that.
yeah,
Is he? I don't know.
Is he?
He looks Spanish to me.
yeah.
I'm just
yeah,
don't quote me on that.
exactly.
I refuse to watch any of his films now. That guy.
I didn't even know he's a big deal until all these news
Oh.
start popping up.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
DC, right?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah, I, in fact, a lot of like Marvel stuff post Endgame. The only one that I really liked was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was actually really good.
Yeah.
I just watched it again.
What about the Asians one? You know the Asians one?
Uh,
The Shang-Chi or
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Hu, I don't know.
it was one of the okay ones,
Okay.
but I didn't like it. And in fact, like if you watch some analysis of it on YouTube, it's hilarious. It's like, so the dad sent assassins to kill the son, and then after that, the son was killed all the assassins, and the dad was like, "Yeah, I sent the assassins because I knew you'd kill them." What?
Yeah.
So
I didn't really like that.
Some of it was weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, the one that bugged me the most. The one that bugged me the most. Okay, Aquafina, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
Aquafina, she is a girl from the Bronx.
Uh-huh.
All right. So a girl from the Bronx. She takes 5 minutes of arrow lessons, and she's killing the freaking dragon with the arrow, right? So I was like, what? Doesn't make any sense.
You know, it's funny. I'm not trying to be like stereotypical, but you know the world champion of Archer. You know where they're from?
China.
They're from Korea, actually.
Korea.
Yeah, they're Koreans.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know she's from Bronx, but she's actually Korean. So maybe it's something in the blood, I guess.
Is Aquafina Korean? Oh,
I think she's Korean, yeah.
I always thought she was Chinese. Oh, okay.
Is she Chinese? Oh, okay, we gotta
One of us
Google
is
that.
about to be racist. To be racist.
How about both of you already?
She is actually Japanese. No. Okay.
She's actually not a person.
That's not
It
a
doesn't
real
really
name.
She is an AI generated blah blah blah. AI blah blah blah. She's Chinese. See?
Oh, she's Chinese.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
and Korean American.
Oh, shit!
Oh, racist. Neither of us
Yeah,
are racist.
Korean.
She's probably Chinese Korean.
Alpha is that your real name?
No. That's her rap name.
Oh,
Her name is Nora Lum.
oh. Nora Lama. I can see that.
See? The 3 syllables name. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, right.
He was talking about how his name doesn't have the 3-syllable ring to it, as it were.
Yeah. But then I was telling him that Phil Wang
Phil.
made an entire career out of that. So you can say, I'm Max Shaw.
Phil Wang's, it sounds nice.
Right.
It has a very round.
Sounds like like a restaurant.
Okay.
Max Chung sounds really sharp. Max, I'm gonna poke you or something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Prop you with an electric rod or something like that. Max Chung, fuck.
It's just like you greet people in the elevator. You just kind of just like nick them, give them shit. What's interesting about Phil Wang? A little bit of a side story,
Sure.
right? So I always assumed that at some point I was the funniest comedian from Sabah, right? Mainly because I was the only comedian.
Yeah.
Right? So,
You're pretty funny. You
I was
always killed in the Nicholas Scott.
Oh.
Sound
Yeah.
Thanks.
On the bar.
Yes. You know, somebody thought I own that bar because I keep promoting it. It's like
You do well then.
Thank you, thanks, much appreciated. But somebody thought that I owned the bar. They said, "You own the bar?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I do stand up there. That's why I was
I'm
like
providing my services for free.
yeah,
Like a
exactly.
hooker. Oh, that shit.
Even worse. So this what happened was I always said that I'm the funniest comedian from Sabah, and then of course Matsaba came along, and he took that title like well far ahead of me, right? But technically I was there first, Mat. So anyway, and then my mom says to me, "Hey, Auntie Madeline's son does stand-up comedy as well in the UK," and I'm like, "Really?" His Auntie Madeline was my mom's friend when we were growing up, and she's got kids lah, right? I've met them when they were like really young, and then he's like, "Oh, what's the son's name? Philip." Like,
Oh,
and I'm like,
okay.
okay, and I'm like, okay, is he an open micer or what?
Feel like
So then I Google him finally years after that, and I was like, what the hell? This guy's opening in the Apollo Arena.
Yeah.
So I've met him a long time ago
Oh shit.
when we were kids,
Wow.
and our moms are like besties or something, you know.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, the most irritating thing is that I was never the funniest comedian from Sabah. That was a false statement that I gave.
Yeah, I've seen this guy.
I mean, by you saying that, right, it just goes to show how small the world is.
Yeah.
In a way,
In a way,
it's
yes.
big and small at the same time.
Right,
So
right.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, in my housing area, right? Do you know who Chanel is?
Chanel.
The
Coco Chanel?
The singer. That, I
Right.
fell in love with
No.
DJ. Have you heard that song before?
No, man, I'm not.
This is popular in like what 2008.
I was alive back then,
All right.
but no.
But she was like this Malaysian singer who came out the song and the stage, I fell in love with the DJ, whatever. She's my neighbor.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
She's just next door.
Yeah. So when I met her, I interviewed her at Trax, and she asked me, "Where do you stay?" And I said, "I stay in this place." And then she's like, "You're lying." I'm like, "No, that's what I say." And
You're a stalker.
yeah, exactly. You just Google where I was, you know. And, and then when I told her specifically what face, she said, "No, you're definitely lying." And then I had to show her my IC. She said, "Shit, we're neighbors." Like growing up, yeah. So
Wow.
in fact, there's a newsreader on TV called Kamal.
Okay.
He reads for Malay News.
Okay.
Kamal something. I can't remember what his last name. His dad's name is also Kamal.
Yeah.
Like his name is Kamal. His dad's name is also Kamal.
Kamal
Yeah.
Senior.
That guy is also my neighbor. He used to come
Yeah.
over to my house and like
Games shit.
play games and shit. Yeah.
Wow.
So
The talent in this square feet.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's small, right?
Yeah.
If you want your future child to grow up with artistic things, please move to this neighborhood. Consider moving here.
Yeah. So that neighborhood, though, right?
Right.
A funny story is what I tell you guys. Well, I got your attention, right?
Right.
So what happened was this particular place was next to a village, right? And this village had a bunch of animals that
Right.
would overflow into like our housing area. So this is a modern, as what you consider modern in the 80s, like modern housing area,
Okay.
you know, with like proper roads and playground and badminton court and swings and shit like that, right? But because of all the animals on the kampong next door, right? You would go to the field where there's like, you know,
Duck,
playground,
right?
whatever, right? No, there's a freaking water buffalo eating the grass. It's like a fucking water buffalo in front of you, bro. And you know, like how when your garbage gets like torn apart,
Right.
it's by dogs most of the time,
Yeah.
right? It's by dogs. They've gone through your garbage.
Yeah, goddamn dogs.
Yeah. For me, it was horses.
Horse?
So you get in front of your house, right?
Ah.
Holy shit, there's a horse in front of my gate. Right? And the horse then stares you down, and then he opens your garbage and he just goes through it. Right? Just throws-
Way bigger than you.
Yeah, just throws
But I
it
don't get
everywhere.
the horse. Why would they have horse? Like what's
Yeah,
it
there's
for?
like horses in the kampong.
Oh, to travel around.
I don't know what they use the horses for, but yeah, there's like horses in the kampong.
That's crazy, dude.
We've had traffic jams because of kambing, you know.
This-
So
Fucking in the middle of the road. Damn.
So it was a modern housing estate with all of these guys, like whatever, right? But we'll get that inflow of strange animals every once in a while.
Is it like are they there permanently or do they go during feeding time? Or?
I know they weren't there all the time, but the fact that it ever happened, you know,
Yeah.
like you live in a housing
Yeah,
estate,
yeah,
suddenly
it's
like,
kinda crazy.
what? There's a horse in front of my house.
Maybe watch like the Planet Earth or something like that. You know?
Oh yeah,
Right,
BBC
right.
Planet Earth,
Yeah.
Attenborough.
Yeah, they're always showing the Great Migration and things
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Your couple is just right in the middle of the Great Migration, you know.
So the kampong next to my housing
Yeah.
estate, right?
You're lucky it's not the locust swarm that swept by your
Yeah.
village, you know.
No, honestly, I think that's the problem with Sabah, right? Is that we don't have a proper zoning thing going on. You know what I mean? There's one hyper mall in Sabah, right? Where right next to it is a kampong also.
Oh yeah,
So you've got
yeah.
like one guy is sitting in his kampong in his
It's
sarong,
hard, yeah.
staring at like you're in the shopping mall.
If he was in his jamban and he would get high up, right? You could really
Yeah.
see right now his jamban. I've seen it. There's a in the middle of the whole building,
Right.
like in the let's say fifth floor, sixth floor, school kind of.
Oh shit, balcony,
Yeah, balcony lah.
patio,
Patio, whatever lah. And then when you look down, there's rumah kampung right down there. So if the guy were to berak over, you can see what.
That's what you say, like, is Sabah developed? Yes and
And
no.
no.
Depends on which postcode.
Here,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
right next to it, no. Here, yes, right next to it, no.
Terrible loh.
I flew by Sabah last year actually.
Right.
Yeah. I love the place. My
Yeah.
friend actually married a Kadazan.
Okay.
Stayed there.
Okay.
There's a
Casino
dentist
lah.
there.
Yeah. So that's how you can become Bumi Putra and still keep your Chinese name.
Yeah.
That's literally what a Chinese friend of mine said. He's like, I'm going to marry a Sino. my kids can get Amana Sahab. So yeah, this.
Tricks only Sabah.
I'm gonna cancel my
Sabah
hang on
has.
that.
So yeah, I guess that I haven't really had a chance to watch a lot of movies. There hasn't been a lot of stuff that's good that came out. Like I watched a little bit of Blue Beetle.
Okay.
I thought that was boring.
What's Blue Beetle?
Oh, it's the DC superhero.
That nobody knows about.
Yeah, I mean I kind of like Blue Beetle, but this show was kind of like very kiddie.
Who's the main character?
Did you watch Cobra Kai? So Cobra Kai is the main guy from Cobra Kai, not
Oh, okay.
not
I like the main guy from Kobai.
the Latino guy. Yeah, the Latino guy.
Oh, the Latino guy?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't like that guy.
But isn't the Latino guy the one with the mom who dated this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Correct.
He's not Cobra Kai, right? He's
The show Cobra Kai.
the show Cobra
The
Kai.
show Cobra
I
Kai.
thought you mean the Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
Cobra Kai affiliation in the
Right,
show
right,
Cobra
right,
Kai.
right, fair enough.
Getting to be-
There's like layers. It's like Inception,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So we're only level 1. So that guy is
Wow.
Blue.
Really?
Yeah. And there's another show that was 37 seconds or something like that, where Morgan Freeman and this Josh guy, I don't remember Josh what his name is, but he's got some device that makes him go back in time, 37 seconds. And I started watching it, and I was like, it's also like a little bit boring. So one of the ways that he uses it is that he's trying to get laid with this girl, right?
Okay.
And he comes in, the girl says something, and then he readjusts. So he has to do it like go back in time 5, 6 times, and find out that the girl has like a foot thing. So
A foot thing?
a foot thing. Like, so he comes in and then the girl's like, lick my feet. And he's like, what?
Oh,
And,
right.
and then immediately the girl's like, oh my God, is that good for you? Okay, I don't want to go and she And he's like, no, I'll do it. But then it's like, okay, rewind 37 seconds. And he
I
goes
see.
in and immediately goes with the foot. So,
So he's training his wrist on this movie.
yes, pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
And she's like, how did you know? You know, so,
I can understand why you say it's not so good.
Yeah.
Because when you have a superpower like that, you
Right.
want something to demonstrate your superpower, right?
Right.
That's immediately what my mind jumped into. I'll use the power to sleep with a woman. If I think about it, it must be a shitty movie.
Right.
No good movie I can think about.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that's good movie-wise. Like TV shows, I've seen some okay ones, but you know, like
I think it's more like the TV. Is TV dying right now because of the strike, and then the
No.
movie is getting a resurgence? Or what do you guys think?
Could be
Like,
the writer's strike
Yeah.
caused this happened before, right?
This
The
is-
same thing happened.
yeah, but no, this is earlier because the writer's strike will affect stuff that's coming out a year or 2 years. from now.
But we saw that the last time the writer's strike happened, the TV just went to shit. Basically, that first writer's strike is what caused more of this trash TV to come out.
Ah, shit.
That's true.
All the reality stuff,
Yeah.
Housewife Miami, Housewife New York,
Unscripted shit.
Unscripted shit.
Right.
all of this stuff came out because of that
You're right.
writer's strike. And then after that, the movies the year after were shit, pretty much.
No, I think one of the reasons is that a lot of streaming, the way streaming is like designed right now, it's about what kind of shows can like make people subscribe, right?
Okay.
So they want to create these binge shows,
Yeah.
and sometimes that binge show, a lot of it, you got to fill it in with like fluff
yeah,
because you don't have enough storytelling.
I agree.
Yeah.
They don't need 1 whole hour of this.
Yes.
It's enough.
Yes.
Especially, I think I share a sentiment when you talk about the awe of mankind.
Yeah.
When they start to plot me off attention.
Yeah.
Right.
It's because like the idea of the show, the premise of the show is so interesting.
Yes.
Right? I don't want to know about your fucking
Right.
love.
Right.
Humanity is bigger than your fucking.
Right.
You know, yeah. That's why I find it boring.
Yeah.
All of mankind. Is this the one you're watching?
No
Well,
one I'm
yeah,
watching
yeah.
it on Apple TV.
Okay.
Even like Stranger Things, right? I like season 1. Okay, season 2 was not so bad. I cannot tahan after that already.
Why?
I feel like it's um, it's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of
So just to keep you watching.
Huh?
To keep you watching, is it?
It's sort of like you know already. People want to find out the ending, so you just add a lot of unnecessary conversation and stuff like that. There's like the whole. I mean, like maybe it gets better later on, but the whole ice cream conversation that they have in that whole ice cream place, I feel like it's a lot of fluff. A lot of fluff. Yeah.
I've been watching this one. Fool Me Once. It's a new limited series.
Okay.
It's by this. I mentioned him just now. This book writer, his name is Harlan Coben. He does these murder mystery, whodunit kind of books.
Okay.
And they've done a number of adaptations of his movies, and them not movies, Netflix limited series.
Okay.
And they're very nice if you like this kind of nonsense.
So it's Fool Me Once.
Fool Me Once. Limited, yeah, this one.
Yeah, I like some true crime shit.
Yeah, this is not really true crime. It's fictitious.
Oh,
However,
okay.
very nice.
So it's like a modern day Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Sort of ish. No, there's no Sherlock. But you're just watching the whole thing unfold as it were.
Is he Dama?
No, I didn't watch that
Oh,
one.
Dama's good, man. Yeah, it's good. That's like one of the last few like TV shows that I watched. Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing, Jeffrey. That show. Something happened that had never happened to me before. Which is that I started to feel very worried about gay people.
That's good. That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it caused me to feel. Because the thing is, as a guy, when you go home with a girl, you're never worried of like, is this girl
She's
gonna
gonna rape
kill
me.
me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is she gonna put me in a barrel and dissolve my body in acid? Maybe she could, right? But that's not
Yeah, it's not conventional. Yeah.
It's not a conventional thing, right? And you're always you're not really even if it was a girl that was feeling that you couldn't quite relate because it's a girl, you don't know what the life that she's gone through, right? But because this is a guy, you're like, oh wow, this is a strange new feeling that I have. I went on a date and I'm scared of whoever the partner is. It's like, man, being I felt like poor gay guys.
Yeah.
Like you got another element of danger that you don't have, right? Yeah.
It must be a good show to convey that the message to you.
I think it was a good show. Yeah.
I feel like as a guy, I mean, I'm not trying to be woke here, but it's kind of privileged that we never actually worry about things like that.
Yes.
We can just walk wherever we walk, go wherever we walk, right?
Yeah. Like there's this one part in the show.
Once you're out of the minor sexual abuse age, then you're free to go.
Yeah, that's true.
12 years and below, you get cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you reach the age of consent, then
You're boring.
Yeah.
So like there's this one scene in Dharma, right, where one of the guys is sitting on the bed and Dharma's like sitting in the corner. And the only thing that was going through my mind is, get out of there, man! He's gonna kill you! He'll kill you, man!
Okay.
Get the hell out of there!
So they maybe I'm like so they recreate the scene as well.
Yeah.
That what makes it so good, huh?
It's crazy.
Like the one where he brought the hitchhiker back home.
Right.
Like you can almost imagine I saw a hitchhiker, I bring him back home, and then suddenly, or you're the guy, and then hitchhiker brings you home. Or
Honestly, I do not know anything much about serial killers.
Right.
Dharma, apparently, is very popular.
Yeah.
But the only one that I'm really captivated is the Zodiac killer guy.
Oh.
I say guy, assuming I don't know.
They never found him, but they have a strong suspicion who it is. Right?
there's
Mostly because of the movie.
with Gyllenhaal, right?
Yes, Jack Gyllenhaal.
I like that.
There's one more guy who's really popular, but I forgot. Gyllenhaal is just one of it. He's the reporter, and then the detective. I'm not sure who's it already. I forgot. But that's really good.
Did what?
Yeah, that's really good. And it's crazy that he's not caught.
Yeah.
And he's taunting. Like
You mean until now?
yeah.
Is he still?
No, I think he's dead.
Oh.
But it's a product of the time, when the print newspaper, there's no internet, everybody's on like fucking big phone, right?
Yeah.
And this guy can get away with all this, and it's sending a message. Oh, if you don't publicize my message, I'm gonna kill someone, right?
Yeah.
Over here, fucking TikTok, hey, I do it myself.
Yeah. Like there's so many kids who get caught bullying some other kid because one of the friends was just taking to the TikTok and they never even thought about this stupid thing. 2 weeks later, they all got caught. How?
Oh, okay.
Stupid
But you
fools.
mean what? They create viral
No.
challenges or what?
No. I don't know what. I don't know about these guys, but if I was doing a crime, I tend not to videotape it
Oh,
because
right.
that's not
Okay.
for profit. You know.
Yeah. No, the challenge one that I saw was this guy. He was like punch a stranger challenge, something
What?
like that. So he just walks up to people in the park and just like punches them. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then he got charged with assault. And then he was all like, "Well, I'm still young. I did it as a prank. I'm like, sorry."
They let it go.
No, I think he's still in trouble.
Yeah.
There's this one other one where this guy was intimidating this person in the mall. This guy in the mall had a gun and shot him. Shot the guy who was pranking him.
This is why I'm
Is it
afraid of
video?
the video.
Yeah, there's a video. You want to try to look for it?
I don't watch someone getting shot,
Okay.
but it's crazy that they have it on video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think I watched it.
Really?
Is this the one that the guy is taking to go food to go?
Yes,
Alright.
that's the one.
The
Correct,
delivery
correct,
one, yeah.
correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh my God.
But the good thing is, everybody found out that the guy doing the video is an asshole. So
Did
the
he feel
guy,
bad about it?
no, the guy is not guilty.
Okay.
The guy who shoot.
Right, self-defense,
Yeah.
Have you heard of this Japanese YouTuber who? He's not Japanese, sorry. He is American. He's a black guy, I think, or Arab. I'm not sure. So he goes to Japan, and he deliberately antagonizes the Japanese. Like he will say Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
What?
They say, yeah, that's why we bomb you, right? That's why we bomb you, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. He's just like messing with random people, and then like he will do prank. He'll go into like construction sites and like mess with the people, the construction workers there, and then eventually like all that pranking led him to like 3 years in jail.
Oh, wow.
Japanese jail?
Japanese
That's-
jail. Yeah.
Japanese jail is too good of a jail for him. Wasting their taxpayers' money. That's kind of thing though. I mean, like that's the rich, big clickbait kind of thing that the people are into, right? You want to feel angry. They don't watch it because they necessarily agree with the guy.
Yeah, they want to feel angry that this guy is doing that.
And also the reaction of
Yeah.
yeah. It says a lot about
Us.
their character. I mean,
No, you're not guilty at all.
of any.
The blog already.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but the thing is just it says a lot about the person who's doing the prank. Like probably these people who like punches the people or belittling the people or messes with the construction worker, it's always someone who's like less privileged
Right.
or smaller than them or more in a polite society compared to him, He wouldn't go to WWE right now, I guess. Start, fuck you, John Cena, fuck you, Rock.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He wouldn't just walk
Yeah.
up in the rock and do it. Say this
Yeah.
shit.
Now he's hoping on like the politeness of the Japanese not to like confront him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but eventually like the Yakuza and whatever got involved, and then eventually I guess they had enough of his.
I think that's why. The Yakuza still is around because of this thing. Polite Japanese don't want to do this, so they need the Yakuza to sweep this shit under the rug.
Yeah.
You know the Mexican. I read news that the Mexican cartel is leaning towards that direction as well.
Oh, really?
They want to make the people reliant on the cartel.
Right.
So they have like a Wi-Fi service, and they have to subscribe to the Wi-Fi service.
Which is run by the cartel.
Yeah, which runs the cartel. And if you don't use it, you die.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand
wow.
that Mexico, there's some parts of it that's safe, and some parts of it which is like you definitely don't go.
I would love to go to Mexico
Right.
one day.
But the
The
safe
food looks
place-
so good.
It's the food, man. I want to go for the food.
Like I think Cancun is safe. Like the places where people
Oh,
go
right.
holiday,
The rich,
But that also sounds like a $20 can of Coke kind of place.
Probably.
probably.
Yeah.
I kind of see them as our global neighbor in a way. I feel like in the equator line, there's only so many countries. Right? They are also living in a tropical country. We're also living in a tropical country.
Right.
It's just that we are different.
You
Like totally opposite, I guess.
You like spicy food.
Yeah.
You like spicy food.
We like rice.
Yeah.
They like to wrap their rice, put a rice bowl.
And you'll notice that they all have the same kind of pride in the sense that it's more chill. It's more,
It's more tropical, I guess.
You know what? I have a theory about this. This is a theory that I thought about for a while.
And anthropology lesson.
The anthropology lessons today by Fadil
All right.
goes like this. All of those peoples that you find on the equator are living in the equator where it's warm all year round. There's coconuts everywhere. There's mangoes. You don't have to plan for anything. You just walk outside,
Right.
look for a mango tree, pluck a fruit, or whatever fruit happens to be in season. That there's fruits all year round. But if you live in Germany where there's 4 seasons and you don't plan for the winter, you're going to be dead by the time spring comes around. You know, so that's why I think they have a bit more. Europeans especially have a bit more strict adherence to time, because if you miss the fucking spring, you're fucked.
absolutely right. Yeah.
Whereas we first,
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's the original hustle culture.
Yeah, that's true.
That's actually very true. Okay, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that's what makes good anthropology hypothesis, because nobody can really define it.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
No, I actually think that's probably why they industrialized faster than us as well.
Yeah.
Because they had to.
They
They
have-
had to build these buildings and like have to make sure that it can sustain like long winters.
Yeah,
you know?
shelter, food, they
Yeah.
keep their shit, they need
Yeah.
to count,
Yes.
start planning the agriculture and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
For us, it's just like, hey, fish.
Yeah.
Banana, mangoes, all year
Yeah.
round, baby.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Everybody's and I feel like pre-industrial age, I think the equator is a really chill place.
Yeah.
It's not that hot, you know,
Yeah.
there's no smog, no shit, right?
Yeah.
You just ground that's really dirty shit.
Yeah.
Of course, you have like killer centipedes and centipedes.
Yeah, but you deal with that.
It's chill temperature, right? I don't think you go above 30. Even then, it's like, okay, it's like warm. They're like, oh, make it anyway.
Make it
Yeah.
away in the beach, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I like about like our climate, right? Everywhere you go, day or night, okay, t-shirt,
Yeah.
sneakers, jeans.
Yeah.
You can wear it everywhere, all year
Yeah.
round, day or night.
You didn't choose the t-shirt line. The t-shirt line chose you, man.
You don't need to worry about how thick my sweater is or whatever nonsense.
You can never be comfortable like when it's cold because you're wearing all this padding outside. And then when you step indoors,
You gotta take it
you
off.
gotta take it off, and you gotta hold
Take off
this
the
thing.
Takes 20 minutes just to get indoors.
Fashionable people will complain, oh, just t-shirt and jeans, but that's the only thing you need, right?
All you need.
Yeah.
So it probably didn't help with us. You know, the thing is, it always encourages laziness a little bit. So it's probably why we're so chill.
That's why.
T-shirt and jeans gang for life. Yeah.
Unstressed, you know, we good for time.
Would you argue that maybe if you live to like like 1,000 years, right? We're in a millennial sci-fi age where everybody has a sci-fi costume, you know,
Yeah.
that chrome one-piece suit.
Yeah.
Would you still be in a t-shirt and jeans? I think I'll still be rocking a t-shirt and jeans. It's just easier to pee that way.
Yeah.
You know, one who's sitting out
Rip it off the counter.
It'd be so weird standing at urinal just topless.
Yeah.
At that time, you can transport your pee via Wi-Fi.
Right.
Wireless.
Yeah. You gotta pay a subscription fee to urinate.
Exactly. Ran out of data. I have streamed today. But
It's good conversation.
Yeah. Welcome, and we can actually go on for like another hour. I think no problem. I was going to.
What time is it?
I'm not even
It's
checking
like,
the time.
it's like 1.5 hours. I was about to go down the road of. Do you know actually you don't want to live forever? What you want to do is go back and forth in time. But then I realized that's going to spawn another 20-minute conversation. So let's end it here. So thanks so much, Max, for coming podcast. We had a bunch of fun.
Thank you, Shaz. Thank you, Fadil.
Talked a bunch of nonsense.
Appreciate it.
And the best thing is that I need to edit this, so we'll see if this is how we're going to move forward. Unless that AI thing works out somehow. So yeah, we'll see. All right.
All manual, baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Come watch some stand-up shows.
yes.
Yeah, watch some live stand-up shows. Doesn't have to be mine. Support the scene.
What is your Instagram?
It's Clyde Barrow. Like
Clyde Barrow.
straight up Clyde Barrow from Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah.
Oh, CLACK.
CLYDE.
Oh, Clyde.
Clyde Barrow.
Yeah,
Oh,
straight up.
Okay.
No, the funny thing is, a lot of people have, not a lot, some people has messaged me, asked to buy my handle.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Wow.
because it's just a name, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
And
That's
how much
it.
were they offering?
not a lot, because I don't have a lot of followers.
Yeah, no. What's just a conversation? Okay, we're gonna tangent off. Hopefully not too long. But today I have like a couple of different Facebook groups, right? So I got a message for my crypto Facebook group. Somebody wants to buy it, which is normal. I get this thing like 2-3 times a year. Yeah. So so my question is always like, are you going to pay up front? Because that's the most important thing, right? And this is what I realized: scammers now use this thing where, if they are a scammer, they will call you a scammer.
All right.
Right. So they will call you a scammer, and you're in this state of like, oh no, I gotta defend myself. I'm not a scammer, and you'll just like go along with whatever they want.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So it's really lame, but I guess it works with some people. So that's why he immediately accused me of being a scammer because I asked for money up front, and then after that he tried to video call me. So and then they're rude. So they're rude and they're aggressive, and they're hoping that out of politeness, out of fear, whatever, you just give in to whatever they want.
Yeah.
So I basically told him, eat a bag of dicks.
Uh-huh.
And I
Right.
blocked it.
Which you should, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you need to do.
But it's interesting because it feels like that type of confidence scam, the con,
Yeah.
the con, right,
Right.
only applies into the crypto space. Because
Yeah.
in a normal fraud case, they wouldn't call you a scammer. They pretend to be actually the good guy
Right.
to help you actually.
Right.
And throughout the entire scam, you still believe them because you just had the question now. Are they really scared?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one time though, right? Okay, so I got offered a trip to fly out to Dubai for some conference thing, and I'm like, freaking scammed, freaking scammed, all of them doing this thing. And then some other people in my industry call me like, hey dude, are you going to Dubai? And I'm like, what?
You know that?
And I'm like, Dubai, why? And at first I thought he was joking, right? And then the next thing is I see an Instagram and they're flying to Dubai. And then it turns out that this was real. So then I was like, are you guys flying out again? And they're like, yeah, we're going the second time. Okay, this time I'm coming. The guy on the internet was for real.
It's for real. It's too good to be true.
Too good to be
Wow.
true, man.
But what's this Dubai thing about? Work thing?
So because I'm in crypto, right?
Oh,
There's
right.
this exchange that's launching, and they were flying out a bunch of influencers.
Oh, right.
To talk about their exchange, right?
Wow.
And I got there, and it was dodgy as hell. So, but the good thing is that they
The second
did it.
time, right?
Second time, yeah. So it seemed dodgy as hell, but the good thing is that I
You went to Dubai.
yeah, I was in Dubai.
That's a good thing.
They paid for my hotel.
Yeah.
They paid for my meals.
Damn, even your meals?
Yeah, you know where they freaking took me? They took me to Rasa, Malaysia or something like
What
that.
the fuck?
I come all the way to Dubai to eat Malaysian food.
Give me some 847, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I want some of that, at least have some camel, you know what I mean? So yeah, not 99.7% of the time people are messaging you on Facebook, it's a scam, right?
Except you went to Dubai.
Except the one time where you're telling them to get lost, and it turns out that they're for real. But yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. So
I can't imagine your feeling when you found out it's for real.
yeah,
You'd be like, what?
I couldn't
the
believe it.
fuck?
I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
I just scammed myself.
I just scammed myself,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, all kinds of weird scammers. We got a video saying that if you plug in your phone, somebody will come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm not sure if my power bank is working. Can I plug it in to see if your phone charges?"
Wow.
And they upload
That's
an
literally
APK.
unprotected sex.
Yes, exactly. So that's like, and then they upload an APK apparently. So
Yeah. It does that.
yeah.
Have you heard this? I saw a news article from CNA, which is according
Chinese Asia, yeah.
No, it's not Chinese news. I think it's Chinese news.
Hey.
But it's from Singapore.
Oh yeah, it's not
Basic-
Chinese news.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Channel
News
News
Asia. Yeah.
in Singapore. So for Singaporeans, this
We
is
just racist sometimes. Okay, so anyway.
So for Singaporeans, this is basically the RTM of Singapore, right? So
Better than RTM is really good actually.
but you know what kind of channel it is?
Alright, yeah.
It's a pro.
Okay.
But anyways, they had this news article about
Cancelled.
this news article. This family, this guy wanted to buy some eggs, like chicken eggs,
Right.
online, and the guy asked him to download this APK. 160,000 Sing dollars all. 160,000
Buy
Sing
chicken
dollars.
egg, download APK.
Yeah. Don't let. Sometimes when I'm looking at my dad using a phone,
Right.
smack it off. Are you downloading any APK? Don't go downloading any APKs, dude.
I think it's just a case of people are just so trusting, right?
Yeah.
They're just so trusting that that's what you need to do. Like, and another thing is that I feel like Malaysians, especially, right? We have such a respect for authority that almost if anybody asks you a question, you'll answer.
Yeah.
If you're not, I'm not doing anything, just answer.
Especially if it's normal to do so.
Hey, it doesn't even have to be Malaysians. You know that research they did where they had a volunteer inside a room, and there's a button here that says electrocute, and then there's supposedly there's somebody else in the other room, and when this guy is getting a message from the boss or whoever it is to say electrocute the guy at 10 volts, and then increases at 30 volts, and they found out that the simple fact of saying that the person giving the order is a scientist changes the percentage of or the likelihood of you going higher and higher very, very high.
Wow.
Because that guy's authority doesn't matter. Before they said when it was a regular guy, they would go up to a certain percentage, like 50 volts or something, and be like, is this right? Am I hurting this guy? But the minute there was a scientist at the back running a proper, test or whatever, suddenly he didn't care. He was pushing 100 volts on the guy.
This is a morality experiment, right?
Correct.
What would be weird would be like usually guys who sort of like volunteer themselves for this kind of experiment. What if that's their kink, Electrocute me, baby.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah.
You like that, huh?
No normal person will volunteer for this shit, right?
Or even worse, he just starts cranking it up. He's like, I haven't even cranked it up yet. Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry to keep mentioning that, but maybe that's the kink.
Yeah, no. The thing is that I actually got this. I was doing a transaction that I do all the time, right? And I was selling something, right? So I sell stuff online, and there's this guy who wanted to pay me, and there's this. Have you heard of this thing called the man in the middle scam?
Oh yeah,
Never heard of it.
So on some some seller websites, what happens is, let's say I'm a drug dealer, okay? So I want to sell drugs, but I don't want to get paid into my bank account.
Okay.
Right? So what I do is I set up an account saying that, hey, I'm selling whatever item, right? And you say, okay, I'll buy the item, right? And he'll get somebody else to bank in the money into you. So it's not from his account, right? So the danger is that he's given like drugs or whatever to this person. And, that person has paid your account.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a third party transfer,
Like a third party
no
transfer.
paper trail
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So what happened was this guy,
It's literally money laundering.
yeah, sort of like a money laundering kind of thing. So this guy, there's more reason for you to be worried. But he called me and he was like, I want to make sure this is not a mule account, is what I call it, a mule account, right? And I'm like, yeah, no. He says, are you local? I says, yeah. He says, speaking Malay to me. I answer in Malay. Then he's like, what state are you from? And I'm like, I'm not telling you that. Like, what the hell should I tell you what state I'm from? And we got into a long conversation about it. And then I said,
long conversation about what state.
about 10, 20 seconds. Okay, so and I was like, no, I'm not telling you. Is that what you want to tell me? Are you Malaysian? I'm like, yeah, I'm Malaysian. I speak Malay to you already, right? And he's like, I want to make sure that it's not a mule account. And I'm like, you see my name is the name that matches. That means it's not a mule account. Lah. When you make a transfer, you can see the name that you're transferring, right? And then he was like, and we got into a little bit of like back and forth. I'm telling him like, that's not how this works. That's not what a mule account is.
Okay.
And then after that, I said, yeah, I'm Sabahan. Okay, are you happy now? All right, you can make the transfer now or what? Right?
Okay, you're selling something to this guy.
So I just said, yeah. So I'm selling something to this guy. Yeah. So then after that, he was like, see, why you didn't tell me or say it earlier on? Would have been easier, right? You just told me. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't have to tell you anything, right?
Okay.
So that's the thing. Like a lot of Malaysians have this thing where it's like, if I ask you a question, you need to answer.
Yeah, or else you're sus.
Or else something like that. Whereas there is this philosophy of, I need to answer your question.
But what's the point of the state?
Exactly. How would he know what state you're from anyway?
Yeah,
Exactly.
you can just lie.
I can just lie. Exactly. I guess in his mind, he's thinking a foreigner wouldn't know the names of the states.
Maybe, yeah.
That's
But
the
that's also bad thinking because what kind of scammer? What kind of scammer wouldn't have done his research, right? At least.
Yeah.
So these guys' defenses are very, very bad. Not good enough for real scam.
No, the Macau scam is also similar to that, right? You know what that is, right?
I thought Makan scam is more malicious in the sense that it's human trafficking in a sense. Is that right?
No.
No.
The Macau scam is, I mean, I guess there might be an element of that where they tell people to go overseas or something.
Yeah.
No, but the Macau scam generally is the main one or the original recipe version of it. I don't know what is mutated from.
The original KFC.
The original KFC knockoff
Spicy,
KFC.
yeah.
So what it was, they would call you and then they would say like, there's a parcel, or we want to send you some money, or somebody is whatever. And they said that, okay, this parcel, we found drugs in it. This parcel has been sent to you, we found drugs in it. We need to transfer you to the police. And they'll transfer you to the police, and this police guy is another scammer. And this police guy will berate you and say that you're going to go to jail, I'm going to come and arrest you. Yes, you know what? There's an arrest warrant out in your name. You better transfer this money over to this bank account. Otherwise, and then all they'll even say like, okay, this money that you're transferring, after that you need to, your bank account has been hacked. So we need to take all the money out first, make sure they don't get the money, and then don't touch your bank account for one day while we run forensics or whatever. And people will just follow. They'll just listen. They'll transfer all the money out.
It's crazy how they can get you jump through so many hoops, right? It's like, I would never want to be on customer service with a
Right.
fucking scammer will get you changing your PU.
Yes.
Yeah, you want when you want to buy online, they suddenly ask for like something to see.
Yeah. If I'm a scammer, I ask you like, okay, we can't sell to me trailer Batman or something like that. You know? Do a 2-0 or whatever. Yeah.
But Malaysians, I think, are just very keen to listen to authority. I think it's like, maybe not just Malaysians, like maybe Asians in general, right?
You
More
know,
question.
there is one, not research, but there was one case of this issue of whereby the what's it called? Too much honor, not to say honor, but too much how you respect,
shame, right?
respect to your authority.
Right.
Too much respect to your authority caused the crash of one South Korean airline once upon a time.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah. And the ferry one as well.
Ferry? How's it go?
You know, in Busan, they had a ferry. They had a
Okay,
big
yes.
disaster. I think it's
Same
about
issue,
10
same
years. You're talking about a plane, right?
Yeah.
But this one is the ferry.
But it's same.
They respect authority.
Yeah.
The-
The story of that.
The ship is sinking. The ferry is sinking, and then the captain just like, sit still. There's nothing going on.
Oh, and
It's a bunch of students.
right.
Hundreds of people drowned.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
because they just listened to the captain.
Right. Same with the airline, basically.
Yeah.
The airline case was whereby the captain didn't know, but the co-pilot was saying, "Sir, I think we should check the gauge again."
Okay.
Don't worry. Then he tried to, but then in a very respectful, "Sir, maybe I think can you try and check the gauge?"
Yeah.
Don't be lying, or whatever, right?
It's
And
crazy.
because he didn't do that, they crashed into the airplane because the guy was like, the altitude is too low. We should not do this.
I honestly don't blame the guy. I'll probably be exactly like that as well. Maybe if you don't want to land crashing into the mountain.
You hear about the Japan Airlines thing? That
Oh,
happened?
I saw a picture of it and I didn't bother. I was like, wow, it's the New Year, it's too soon. Right?
I was looking at
When you're in
the
February,
I was looking at the plane, so I'm like, maybe I just on the right time.
Right. So the Japan Airlines is basically, there was an obstruction, there was another plane on the runway, it's not supposed to be there.
Some kind of NGO plane.
But what's interesting is that nobody on the plane died
Oh,
because they
Evacuated.
evacuated.
oh, so they listen to instructions.
Yes.
Listen to instructions. So in
They
sometimes it
don't
works.
listen,
Sometimes it works, you know.
If you come Malaysia, if Malaysia, I'm sure some auntie is trying to grab a Prada bag, make sure it doesn't. I don't know.
I wouldn't say auntie, I would say me as well. I would kick babies down, I jump over grandmas, you know. I was like, get out of the way!
Yeah, but in Japan, you're talking about where they leave stadiums cleaner than when they went in.
Yeah,
These people have a different kind of culture, man. That's a beautiful culture they have.
respect.
That's why when sometimes people say like, you know, Japan doesn't speak English. Why do we need to speak English?
Why do
Like,
they?
Japan would be rich if they were deaf, dumb, and blind. Okay, it's their culture is like that. Okay, not Malaysia. No, we cannot. All right. Okay,
It's not, yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, it's really not the language. It's just people sometimes like to harp on any differences that they have and then take that as an excuse.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this tends to happen. The encore, or like most concerts, you know, rock concerts, they'll deliberately leave out "Crawling" from Linkin Park, and Linkin Park gonna come and play one more time, right? So that's what the encore was.
Yes.
We'll be back with another podcast hopefully soon, since we figured out this editing thing. And thanks for coming, Max.
We'll be right back. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Thank you for having
having
me. Sorry, I jumped out way too early. Goes to show how inexperienced I am in podcast. I should actually respond. Thank you for having me. We'll be right back. Yes. Take two. Take two is better.